that if Griffey didn't keep getting injured at the rate that he did, he absolutely would have broken that record.
Yeah,
I actually think Griffey probably would have gotten to 800 home runs if he never gotten injured once. He missed a lot of time in his career. He could have totally made it to 800.
God, his swing was so. I mean, I remember being a kid and just every day just practicing trying to do that swing. Him and I love Gary Sheffield's.
Oh, where Sheffield would damn near screw himself into the ground every time he swung the bat.
Wag his bat too, like it was fantastic, man. It was such a cool one for.
So what happened with Brady? Oh, so you mentioned Brady Anderson, and you mentioned a shirt, right? So why don't you give us some more insight here?
He's talking to you.
I think he's
talking
to you.
I'm talking to whoever wants to tell the story. In the beginning, there was baseball. It is some date. I don't even know. The 21st, I guess it's April 21st. I'm CJ. You can catch me on Twitter at CJ and Pinstripes. Probably won't tweet or even follow you back because I'm barely ever on there. But follow me. I'll follow you back at some point. I'm here with Evan and Mike. Evan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You can follow me at Evan D. Wetzel 4 on the Twitter. And Michael Torres is here. He's going to be with us pretty much full time now, so you're going to see him all the time. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. Welcome, Michael. How you doing?
Fantastic today. I'd actually had to look on my Twitter. You could follow me on Twitter at mtorres1230, mjtorres1230. So,
God damn it, get your own handle right, will you?
I made my name the YouTube channel, so you can watch all the cooking segments we do on my YouTube channel, which is my name today.
Look at that.
Yep, definitely sub to that, too. His cooking show's awesome.
Wait, eventually we're going to go back to the studio. How are we going to have Mike on the show?
You know same way we had Chris on the show.
I guess, yeah, we could just do yeah.
I feel like that's Joe's job to figure out.
Yeah.
That's true.
I agree.
That's true, but he still hasn't figured out what baseball team to root for yet. So, I don't know if he's gonna figure that out. So for for the times of no sports, we sure actually do have quite a bit of sports to talk about. Folks, we are a baseball podcast first and foremost, but I think it would be wrong of us to not start off with the biggest news possibly that we're going to hit in the entire NFL offseason, which is Gronkowski getting traded to the Buccaneers. So it was Gronkowski and a 7th rounder getting sent to Tampa for a fourth rounder, I think, in return.
That is correct.
Yeah. So I guess I'll give my thoughts on this first. Tampa Bay in this upcoming season has a rude awakening coming. I think Tom Brady's awesome as a quarterback, don't get me wrong, and I can't stand the guy, and I'm still willing to say that. He is not – I've said it on this show before. He is not going to work in Tampa. And now, sure, great, you get him Rob Gronkowski for what, 4 games? He just had he just had an entire year to rest his body, but, the guy's made of glass.
And he dropped 75 pounds since his playing weight. He's like a fraction of what he was. He's small, so he's going to put some weight back on.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, I don't see this going well for Tampa. I don't see this experiment working for them in anything other than ticket sales.
Jerseys. And they're going to pay him $10 million, so he's going to play under the contract he had with Tampa Bay, so he's going to be $10 million. And although Brady looks like he's got a ton of weapons to start the season, he could blow his knee out in the first game and it was all for naught.
Yeah.
Remember that season Brady got sacked in the third play of the season, and was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and the Patriots still won 11 games with Matt Castle. So, Look, as great a quarterback as Tom Brady is, I've said this before too, that he and Belichick, they were like this. They lifted each other up. Okay, they were like the belt and the belt loops. All right, the belt loops hold up the belt holds up the pants. They both held each other up. Without one or the other, something falls. So I don't
Yeah.
I don't think Brady's going to do well in another scheme.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's either going to do really well or really terribly. And I think Bruce Arians is a good coach, but I'm not sure they're going to get the same relationship he had with Belichick, and they're not going to get it under one season. That took years to build. It took a huge trust level from Belichick, and I just don't see that connection coming forward, which is why I think they traded for Gronk so that he can have, something that he is familiar with.
Yeah, something already established that there isn't that much of a gap to bridge.
I think for me, the biggest question is he always was a temper tantrum throw-in. He was shitty to his teammates in New England, always yelling at people. They always clipped to it on TV. How is that going to go over when he goes in and all these guys are going to be like, wait, I know you're Tom Brady, but you just got here. We've been here. This is how we do things. You can't just come in and be the same guy in Tampa that you were in New England.
Right. Yeah. Also, excellent points. Excellent points. I think that just to be honest, the Patriots had no leverage here. What in the world is Tampa doing giving them a 4th-round pick? That's another thing that
makes no sense.
I don't understand how this wasn't, I'll give you a 6th-rounder, and that's the end of the game.
Yeah, remember 2 years ago, he got traded to Detroit, and that's why he retired. So it wasn't like he was coming back and he would have went anywhere. He was only going to Tampa Bay to play with Tom Brady. You could have got something a little better for that.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Wild stuff.
One thing, though, that's interesting is they still have O.J. Howard, and I know he's not the best tight end in the league, but I still think he's pretty solid, and maybe that will help him getting Tom Brady. Because when Tom and the scheme was at their best, it's when they had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk together. That was a pretty dynamic duel.
I was thinking the same thing. He loves having those big – and then Mike Evans is as big as a tight end. That guy's huge. Yeah. So, he's got 3 giant guys there to just throw the ball up to him. That kind of covers some of his – I'm getting older and I don't have the accuracy I once had. These big-bodied guys cover that up a little bit.
Yeah, you also can't ignore the fact that New England always had awesome protection for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
so
always.
I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I know a damn thing about Tampa Bay's offensive line. But if it's not as good as what the Patriots had, that's another issue.
I can't even name a person on their offensive line. I was just thinking about it as you said that. I was like, I know nobody.
Yeah, no idea. None.
And I live here.
Funny stuff.
So we're all Jets fans then, right?
Jets fans?
Yeah.
Yep, 3 Jets fans.
Who do you want in the draft?
I would like it's very tempting to go for a guy like CeeDee Lamb. But I feel like the Jets need to stick with offensive line help. I feel like that's got to be the next building block. You got your quarterback. The next thing needs to be offensive line.
Left tackle.
Yeah,
got it.
Exactly.
Somebody to protect Sam Darnold. There's 4 good ones. If any of those 4 are there, as much as it's sexy to take the receiver, you got to take the left tackle. Any of the top 4 ones left. Now, if
I agree.
Gone, I take one of the receivers because you can't take all 4 of those tackles and not leave like a Riggins or a CeeDee Lamb or a Judy. One of those guys is going to be left if all tackles are gone. So then I say you take a receiver and you start working on your O-line the next couple rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I'm in love with what's his name, Jerry Jeudy or whatever, the wide receiver. Yeah. That would be my pick, but I don't know anything about building a football team. I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah, Mike, you're 100% right. Like, you go for the talent. So if those tackles are gone, then what can you do but go for the talent? I mean, that's what the Jets kind of have had to do in a couple of seasons where maybe they needed help in a different position, but they just had an amazing defensive player just fall in their lap.
I'm just happy we have JD because I think this is you watch the draft and you expect it's like an inside linebacker. It's Calvin Pryor. It's some tight end all the way back from when I was a kid. We took Anthony Beck. We've been so bad at drafting people for so long that it's like, now that we got Joe Douglas, at least we know we have an adult in the room, and this guy's at least going to, you hope, is going to do great. He's been around great people, and, he's been around great. He's won in different places. You're like, God, please be the end of this.
Dude, Anthony
Sam
Beck.
Darnold's 23.
Anthony Beck was one of 4 first-rounders the Jets had that year. And the only one that came away with them that had any sustained success for a long period of time was Abraham.
And we traded him.
Yeah.
Ellis was secret agent okay, though.
Yeah, no, you're right. He was. So I take that back.
He was never an all-star. He was never, he was never a Pro Bowler, but he was a fixture of that team for like 10 years. He did it.
True. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he went and played for the Patriots, so.
They all do.
Yeah.
All the Jets do is cause us pain. They literally, the butt fumble is the reason my family left Thanksgiving that year.
Can't believe you watched that much of that game. And that happened when it was like 45-3.
Yeah, it happened, and they're just like, okay, we'll see you guys next year. Bye.
Pie, now we're good. No pie. Who could eat after watching this?
Yeah, I just watched a dude accidentally give someone a colonoscopy. I'll pass.
So did you happen to see, since we're out of football, did you happen to see Colin's top 10 NFL players list today?
Joke.
I haven't seen it.
Joke, man. Yeah, you showed it to me. Tom Brady's 10.
Russell Wilson's 1.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is 4. The guy who wins the Super Bowl comes back in every game. 2 of them down like double digits and all that. He's 4th. And he's behind Aaron Donald, Christian McCaffrey, and Russell Wilson. And I like Russell Wilson. I think he's underrated and underappreciated, but he's not better than Patrick Mahomes.
Nope. I'd even put Jackson higher than Russell Wilson. I'm just saying. After the season he had last year.
Lamar Jackson was behind George Kittle, and he won the MVP.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's going to be on the cover of Madden. That came out today.
Oh, that's a game I won't be playing for a long time.
So,
Madden, there's a game that hasn't been good in at least a decade.
I haven't played Madden in at least a decade, so.
I think the last one I remember actually enjoying was 08, the one with Vince Carter on it.
Oh, I think that's the last one I actually had.
Yeah. I used to really like 07 because I would run the ball with Sean Alexander. When you would run a weak side counterplay, you got a touchdown pretty much every time.
Which year was Marshall Faulk, too? That was a good one, too, when he was on the cover. It's around
I think that was 03.
Greatest show on turf years.
I think 02 was Eddie George, and I know 04 was Vic, so I think Faulk was 03.
Okay.
I loved the Vic one.
Yeah, that one's really good. 05 is probably the best one they ever made.
Michael Vick was like, he was almost Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl. He's like a cheat code on every single
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they gave him the vision cone that was like that thin. Remember the vision cone? You had to move the vision cone in the direction that you were going to throw the ball. His was like the size of my pinky. Brett Favre's was like that.
Brett Favre. I just like Brett Favre as a person.
Yeah, I also like Brett Favre as a person, just flashing his wiener to people.
Well, that part of him, everything but that part. That's right up your alley, though.
I'm just kidding around. I don't know.
He's just trying to piss me off. You keep your pants on, you keep your shirts on. Thank you.
Speaking of keeping your shirts off, you had a story you sent me today that I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
Brady Anderson.
Brady Anderson, what a weird – like, he's an example of a guy that – I mean, he admitted taking steroids. He ended up admitting it. But, like, we knew you didn't have to do that. Like, we clearly knew you did that for, like, one season, and that was it.
It was a good season, though.
It was. It was an awesome season. But, like, damn, dude, what was that, like 96 when he hit, like, 50-something home runs?
Yeah, out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere, hit, like, 50-something home runs, and went back to being Brady Anderson. He was,
here we go.
Dribbles down.
13, 12, 16, 50, 18, 18. Unreal. What the hell is that?
That's
I
why
don't
was
think
laughing. People
steroids
were
did
like,
anything
the
there.
steroid era wasn't that big a deal. When you hit number jump, like the guy hit 30 more homers than his average. It was that big of a deal. I don't think guys like Barry Bonds sniff that record if he doesn't take steroids. Is Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer still? Yes. Is he good still? Absolutely. But is he break Aaron's record? I never thought so without steroids.
Yeah.
Probably not. Although I will say there is one guy that if Griffey didn't keep getting injured at the rate that he did, he absolutely would have broken that record.
Yeah,
I actually think Griffey probably would have gotten to 800 home runs if he never gotten injured once. He missed a lot of time in his career. He could have totally made it to 800.
God, his swing was so. I mean, I remember being a kid and just every day just practicing trying to do that swing. Him and I love Gary Sheffield's.
Oh, where Sheffield would damn near
Wiggle the
screw
bat.
himself into the ground every time he swung the bat.
Wag his bat too, like it was fantastic, man. It was such a cool one for.
So what happened with Brady? Oh, so you mentioned Brady Anderson, and you mentioned a shirt, right? So why don't you give us some more insight here?
He's talking to you.
I think he's
whoever.
talking to you.
I'm talking to whoever. Whoever wants to tell the story.
He sent me the article today, and it's about Brady Anderson hitting home runs and then racing people in the parking lot shirtless. Which also probably had something to do with the steroids. He just couldn't get all his rocks off in the stadium, so he just went out of the parking lot after the game and finished up. Had a little extra testosterone to spare.
Yeah, I mean, when your testicles shrink to the size of grapes, I guess you got to prove people wrong somehow.
No, it was that version of the "we'll fight you." It's like, I'll take my shirt off and I'll race you in the parking lot. Which is weird because the parking lot for Camden Yards is 2 blocks away anyway, so I can't imagine what he was doing out there.
The Orioles should do that for, like how they do the sausage races and the president race. They should bring Brady Anderson out and have him race someone shirtless in the park.
Yeah, and what if he loses? He'd murder them.
Yeah, I don't know what happens there.
While we're talking about that, and I love those traditions, I hate that most ballparks have gotten rid of it. It's heartbreaking that they do the ketchup, mustard, and mayo, or the ketchup, mustard, and relish, and they're just on the screen. There's not people in costume. Remember they used to put fans down and put the suits on them and tell them to run around the stadium, and then somebody got hurt and sued and it was all over. But that's what baseball was great, man. I used to love that. I was like, I want to be the mustard.
Yeah.
Be the mustard. That's something I never thought I'd hear a human say.
That's my mantra. Be the mustard. Be the mustard you want to be.
Just be the mustard.
That's why Michael's the food guy.
That's true.
By the way, I saw something online, speaking of food guy. I think this could be really cool that I would go maybe on Twitter or something. I would ask people for a list of 4 ingredients and do a chop challenge. You ever see that show Chopped?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would know what the 4 ingredients are, and you two guys can have a contest where I will reveal to you what those 4 ingredients are. Make a dish.
Okay, here's the only catch to that. How would we know we would both have the ingredients in the house? And I love this idea, but there's got to be like
this would have to happen. It's a great question. You see, if you weren't down in Florida, this could be a lot easier because
I think I got it. So here's what we do: an hour before we tape, you send the list, and it's got to be a day where we could go to the store and get back in an hour because I'm a grocery store is 2 minutes from my house.
I like that.
Literally drive.
I was going to say the same thing.
That is a way of doing it. However, it's a lot better if you can just, here's the ingredients, haha, make us something. You now have 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like just having that extra hour would be so helpful for you because you'd be like, okay, what can I make? Let me go buy these ingredients.
Maybe you send a list out. It's got 100 things on it, and you ask us what we have in our house, and then you compare them, and you pick 4 things we both have. Peanut butter, bacon, bread, whatever. You know what I mean? That's a way to do it too.
Interesting, very, very interesting. This is something we're gonna have to brainstorm. But
I like the way this is sounding.
It sounds like a good time. And I
Yeah.
want to see him in the kitchen. He says he's got skills. I respect it. So I got to see it now.
Yeah, Evan, the ingredients will not include hot dogs.
Fuck you,
That's
dude.
his favorite food.
You're such a son of a bitch. I barely eat hot dogs, although I did have a couple hot dogs this weekend. You're such a turd.
I feel like we did the same thing last show, and he said the same thing. I don't never eat hot dogs, except this weekend I had a couple hot dogs.
Yeah. Every time we do this, you tell us that you've recently eaten hot dogs.
I will literally end this show right now.
You can't. This isn't your chat room. This isn't your.
This
your
is Twitter.
No, you can't. That's not how that works.
Me and CJ are still going to sit here and make hot dog jokes.
You son of a bitch.
Should we talk about Manfred saying that he still thinks there's going to be baseball this year, or is it just another week, another fucking false hope?
Well, I mean,
he's
given us false hope with the Red Sox, so.
I think there's going to be baseball this year. I just don't think it's going to be before July.
Or with fans, really, probably for the first month.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, let's put it like this. New York State is trying to look to open the economy back up by June. You think that means that they're going to suddenly allow, okay, we'll open up the economy. Let's let 50,000 people congregate together.
Okay, you guys, you probably, maybe, I know Evan knows Boshek on Twitter. Great follow, by the way. But he today, he had a great idea. He said that when they open the stadium, the first game should be first responders and their family. And I'm not saying that because my wife is a nurse. I'm saying that because I thought it was a great idea, even, but he was like, that's how they should do it. If they're going to limit the amount of people who can go into games, it should be hospital workers, first responders, and their families.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that.
Did you see New York said they're going to have that guy's such a moron, but he's going to have a ticker tape parade, old school, like World War II ended, ticker tape parade. Let's get 1 million people in the street. And he was going to do it for all the doctors and nurses and do a first responders ticker tape, old school style parade to celebrate the coronavirus.
Sounds pretty silly. Yeah. Hey, did you guys see the new Chargers uniforms?
I love them.
They are so good. Listen,
finally got them right.
I heard that the Patriots revealed new uniforms. I haven't seen those. The Rams' new uniforms and logo is garbage. And the Chargers nailed it, man. The Chargers got so right.
As soon as I saw the picture, all I could think of in my head was Chris Berman singing San Diego Superchargers. Like, it was just a fantastic job with those uniforms.
Yeah. And then you remember they're in LA and nobody wants to go.
The Patriots just copied the old Color Rush uniforms. Literally the ones they use for Color Rush are their new uniforms.
Ew, Color Rush. Do you remember that? That was so bad.
Yeah.
Why did the Rams get it so wrong?
I don't know, dude.
Because they tried too hard to be LA.
Yeah, and it's Stan Kroenke. Like, that guy can't get anything right.
Yeah.
Like the Reds were yellow and blue. That's who they are. And then they did the gold for a while, and it was like, but everybody wanted the yellow back, Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I'll say this. Those Chargers uniforms are almost enough to say maybe it kind of counterbalances the dumbass idea to go back to L.A. Because,
I liked them in San Diego.
Everyone did, and they couldn't sell out a soccer stadium in L.A. Nobody wants to go to Chargers games in L.A.
No, it shouldn't be in LA. It needs to go back to San Diego. It's bullshit that it moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, San Diego is such a gorgeous city. It's one of the best cities in this country. So it's really disappointing to take sports away from something that amazing.
True. And, like, who else are they? Like, it was San Diego loved their Chargers. What, are they going to root for the Padres now?
Yeah. Right.
I'm sure San Diego likes the Padres, but it's clear who the favorite team was.
So there's a guy on Twitter. His name is Good Tipper Joe Douglas. He's at Joe Tip 33. Also a great follow. This guy did 100 different variations of Jets uniforms that he thought was better than the Jets uniforms. If you haven't this thread, go look at it. It's awesome. But what's crazy is, and it was my thing too, when the Jets uniform came out, I was like, not only did I want like a throwback to the 80s, I wanted to see a jet anywhere. We've never had a jet anywhere on our uniform, and we're the
That
Jets.
is true.
I like the new color. I love the Gotham green. I like the green and white. They got all that right, but no Jet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta check that out if you like uniforms. 100 different logos he did in just a stream one day. Just this is home away.
No,
home
that's
away,
awesome.
home away. So really cool stuff.
Word to
Ready
your
for
mama.
the next topic? It's gonna be rapid fire today. I already got it ready.
Let's do it.
XFL Commissioner Oliver Luck sues Vince McMahon for wrongful termination.
What? Why?
Well, now, did you know that Oliver Luck was Andrew Luck's father? Because I learned that.
Yeah, I actually knew that. Yeah. I knew that Andrew Luck's dad was the XFL commissioner.
Yep, been on since 2018, since before they even had games to help set the whole league up, and now he got fired today.
Is he saying that it was wrongful termination to get fired because of the coronavirus pandemic?
Correct. Yeah, he thinks his contract was $20 million.
Wow.
And he was fired because the league folded. There's no league. It's probably never coming back. They're in Chapter 11, and he sued. He wants his $20 million, and Vince McMahon, he doesn't want to pay anybody. So
right, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what the language in the contract is. If it's fully guaranteed, then I figure he's got to get that money. But then again, I don't know how the legal system works when it comes to this kind of unexpected closure of business.
Yeah, it's actually sad too, because I actually think the XFL probably wouldn't become something huge, but I think it could have lasted a couple years, or at least they would have figured something out. But because of this pandemic, they are never coming back. This is going to bury them.
I thought it was going to wind up being like a minor league system for the NFL, which I've always said needed. Every sport has hockey has a great minor league system. The NFL doesn't, and people love football. It's so weird that they've never figured out how to have, aside from college, a minor league system.
Right.
Because the other league that folded too, like there was a couple people in the league that were good. So it was interesting that when the XFL came out, I think somebody picked up the quarterback from somewhere. Matt Reich picked him up wherever he went, North Carolina, because he played for him at Temple. PGA.
Yeah. Two players have left the XFL and have contracts in the NFL now.
Yeah. So he hate me. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Played like an NFL. I think he played for the Panthers too, didn't he?
I think it was the Panthers. I think you're right.
Panthers love the XFL. And what about Joe? Joe had a question for us today.
Yeah, Joe, where are you at?
Cool.
I'm coming.
Sleeping.
It takes so long.
Making a new background.
Daydreaming. Yep.
He's whacking off the big Steve Hernandez is what he's doing.
Man, I gotta go. I just got fired from my job.
It's the mustache that gets him, CJ. He loves the mustache.
Dream team, Joe?
Yeah, it's a dream team. All right, so this one is in honor of the Jordan documentary that was shown this week. I know not everyone here saw it, but it's awesome. 2 episodes in, it's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't finished the '98 finals yet, so don't.
We will not tell you what happened.
I want to see if the Bulls pull off the 3-peat.
Did you watch the Tiger King?
Yes, I did over the
Jerry
weekend.
Krause is Carol Baskins.
Oh wow, wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's a reference that's lost on me, but I'll get it eventually.
All right, well, you got to watch the Tiger King. I was against it, but it ruined my Saturday, but it was good. It was worth it.
I don't watch any of that stuff. I don't watch things that are trending.
Well, this one is this
What
one's
a
interesting. It'll open up your mind to something that you probably didn't know was happening right down the street from us. But
Right.
Anyway, we're getting nostalgic with the question today. So I got the dream team up behind me. Who was your favorite player of that generation? We're talk like late 80s, early 90s for each major sport. So baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and if you wish, a wild card such as like a Mike Tyson or an Andre Agassi, perhaps.
Okay, who's first?
You.
I'm first. All right. So NBA. I mean, I guess I'm gonna say Jordan. Like, if that's too much of a cop-out answer, then I'll say Ewing. Baseball. Again, Derek Jeter. But if that's a cop-out answer,
No, these are you. These are you.
All right,
Be
fine,
you.
yeah.
Be you.
All right, fine. So Jordan, Jeter, hockey. I don't know too much about '90s hockey, to be honest. So
Neither do I. I would go with like
abstain on
Brett Hull or Jeff Bukaboom.
Right.
Those are the two I remember.
Buka Boom's a good one.
That's a god tier.
Kind of just remember the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not?
Mike Richter, Gretzky, Lindros.
Yeah. NFL. I guess I'm gonna go. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with Emmitt Smith for the
Wow.
NFL. Yeah, because I'm not all that familiar with '90s NFL either, because I didn't really watch football until like the 2000s or so, like early 2000s. But I know
When were you guys born? I might be
'89.
Oh,
80.
so all right. All right, I was 83. All right. So you guys are a little
88.
young for this.
I'm gonna have some
Understandable. All right.
My wild card is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh wow! All right. Well, it can't be fake, but we'll let it slide. All right. Who's next, Evan or Mike?
I actually don't know what the question was. I got distracted.
Oh man! All right. Let's go with. I'll say the question again, and then we'll go
Damn
to
it.
Mike. Your favorite player from the 4 major sports, and then one wild card could be from any sport: soccer, tennis,
from the
wrestling.
90s.
Yeah,
Bernie
late
Williams.
80s, early 90s. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bernie Williams. Mike Richter. No, sorry. Brian Leach.
Oh, okay.
Brian Leach. Chad Pennington.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And Vince Carter.
Wow. From the Nets or the Raptors?
Yeah, Nets. Well, I mean, I liked him on the Raptors, but when we got him on the Nets, I lost my mind.
It's got to be Raptors. You kidding me? When he won that slam dunk contest,
He was
come
so
on.
good. Yeah,
was
with
nice.
with the arm and the hoop.
Over the 7-foot French guy. In
Oh
the
yeah,
Olympics.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like
over.
teabagged him in the process. His nuts right on his forehead. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is where I'm going to show my age because I'm a little older. So hockey, I'm going to go Scott Stevens.
Yep.
Used to love Scott Stevens. Had a jersey.
I met him.
I'm going to go Don Mattingly. Football, believe it or not, I when I was a kid, I was a 49ers fan. Loved the 49ers, loved Joe Montana, and I was so heartbroken when they traded him to the Chiefs that I swore them off forever, and I became a Jets fan. That's how I became a Jets fan.
Wow.
So Joe Montana was my kid. And then basketball, the first basketball player I used to pretend to be in my backyard, Derek Coleman, DC.
Nice.
Derek Coleman. Wow, that's a good one. You Drazen Petrovic fan?
So yeah, I grew up. So my father was a teamster in Jersey. I grew up going to the Nets when they were, Brendan Byrne Arena. Like as a kid,
Yeah.
All the time. Saw Jordan as a kid.
I saw Jordan there too. I couldn't get tickets ever to Madison Square Garden, and I went to a Nets game where Jordan was playing. Yeah, so sat way up.
Who's your wild card?
Mike Tyson, man. I loved Mike Tyson. Loved him. Even loved him when he got out of prison, before prison. He was just a man on the
Mike Tyson got into a little bit of a scuffle with Stone Cold Steve Austin one time. It was great. It was leading up to WrestleMania 14, and he was having a match against Shawn Michaels, and Mike Tyson was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass," and then Stone Cold was like, "Bring it, man!" And then the two of them kind of joined forces at the end. Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, hey, I think that's all we got to talk about, right? Unless there's more questions we got.
Well, my wild card is tennis player Michael Chang.
Wow.
That is wild.
Wow.
I loved him. He was amazing. I almost got his autograph once.
He's my favorite tennis player ever.
You don't know any tennis players.
You guys are the worst. You guys are the worst.
I hope he never sees this and knocks me out, but I met Mike Tyson in like 2004 in a bar in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was like that bad time of his life where he was always doing drugs and wasn't a good human. It was before the hangover. He had his comeback, and it was one of the craziest experiences of my life. And he was terrifying looking in real life too.
Wow.
Still have nightmares. Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, guys. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. See you guys on Thursday.
Howard Johnson.
Hojo.
Peace.
Later, guys.